We're very confident. I think with the players that we have here, we're at the same level as them, and we're ready to fight. So.
All right. So the Super Falcons remain undefeated going into the second stage of the FIFA Women's World Cup. This comes after a stalemate against the defending Olympic champs and a massive victory against a co-host of the competition. Now that right there, added with the hardships encountered along the way, NFF makes their campaign a success already. But there's a big difference between celebrating a moral victory and actually achieving greatness. Now, of course, this is a match that decides who goes into the quarterfinals of the FIFA Women's World Cup, but the Super Falcons will also be playing for a couple things that are just as important: respect and legacy. Before we get into more details about this match, please don't forget to like this video and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you very much. So yeah, the Super Falcons of Nigeria will take on the Lionesses of England in the round of 16 of the FIFA Women's World Cup. The match is set to be played this coming Monday, the 7th of August, 8:30 a.m. Nigerian time. The game will be hosted at Lang Park in Brisbane, Australia, same stadium that has hosted the Super Falcons in their previous two matches. And of course, the team is undefeated at that stadium. So far so good. Now when it comes to the ref on the day, we got Melissa Barjas, and she's from Honduras. We actually have history with Melissa Barjas. She reffed our match against France at the previous World Cup, and to be honest, it was the most controversial match at that World Cup. So it's kind of crazy that she was selected to do this match, but at the same time, it is what it is. We just gotta focus on the things that we can control, and the referee is definitely not one of them. Now, speaking of the match, of course, this is a matchup between two undefeated sides. The Group D winner versus the Group B winner, and England won Group D. They came out with 9 points out of 9, winning every match in the group. Their first match was a 1-0 win against Haiti, then another 1-0 win against Denmark, and in their final match, they defeated China by 6-1. Now, when it comes to the Super Falcons, they picked up 5 points out of 9, 2 draws and 1 big victory. Their first match was against the defending Olympic champions, a 0-0 draw, and of course that was against Canada. Then they faced the co-hosts of the competition, Australia, and defeated them by 3-2, and then they rounded everything up against Ireland, playing their second goalless draw in the competition. Now when it comes to players' fitness, I don't think we have any issues with players being injured before this match. Maybe a player might not be 100%, but I don't think there's any player on the injury list going into the match. We do have Deborah Biodun missing her third straight match in the World Cup. She got that red card against Canada, the ending of the match against Canada, and I guess the disciplinary committee decided that she should be missing 3 games, so she'll be missing her third and final match against the Lionesses of England. Now when it comes to the game itself, I expect a real tough match between the two sides. It could be a really physical side because I've watched England and they are a physical side, but of course that all comes down to the referee on the day, how she's gonna go about the match. I mean, first off, you will hope that our players just focus on the match and not worry about whatever decision the ref is making, but at the same time, the hope is that the ref will give us a fair fight. We're not asking for handouts or anything like that. We don't want you to give us free penalties or chalk off goals for us. We're not asking for any of that. We're just asking for a clean game, 11 on 11, a clean game. Protect our players just like you protect the other players. That's all we're asking for. We don't want you to do anything special for us. But that being said, the hope is that the Super Falcons grab the game by the horn from the first minute. We don't need to be waiting till later on in the match to get into the match. The hope is that we do our thing from the word go. Also, our passing needs to be way better than what we showed in the first half against Ireland. we were just making some silly passes, some silly mistakes. We just got to tune that up and do much better. We also need to move the ball way quicker than we did in our last few matches. We don't need to be hanging on to the ball. We do that a lot. Just hanging on to the ball for what reason, I do not know. But this time we just need to give up the ball. Quick movements, quick passing, and let's just go like that. Now, one thing I noticed with England's match against China is that they do a lot of their building up from the back. The defenders get a lot of touches during the game, and I do understand that we like to sit back and be compact and hit teams on the counterattack, but I feel like maybe once in a while we do press those central backs and make it a little difficult for them. They just can't be passing the ball back and forth and building up whatever they want to do. We got one or two forwards that can just press them. Tony Payne was doing a good amount of pressing in the last match against Ireland, and maybe we add in Oshwala once in a while, or whoever's playing at that 9 position once in a while, just to make things a little difficult for them. And of course, England have one of the star players in this competition thus far, Lauren James, the Chelsea forward. I definitely feel she's a quality player, and once she gets in the final third, she's really hard to stop. Of course, the first step would be to try to cut off the service to her, but we should definitely not be giving her any space if she does get the ball. Now, earlier in this video I said the words respect and legacy, and this match is definitely a match that's gonna gain the Super Falcons both if they win it. 9-time African champions have not missed the World Cup like ever, but when you talk about the Super Falcons among the top names in women's football, people start laughing. People act like you're telling a joke. I'm not telling a joke. We're one of the top teams in women's football, and this is the opportunity right here that has presented itself for us to actually prove this to the world, and of course make them to put some respect on our name. Then you talk about legacy, and if the Super Falcons win this match, oh, what a legacy they'll have. I mean, we did make it to the quarterfinals in the '99 World Cup, but then there was no round of 16, so this will definitely go down as one of the biggest wins in the history of Nigerian women's football. And when you look at the country you're doing it against, you might have to move out the women's football and just say Nigerian football period, because you're going to be defeating England in the round of 16, then going to the quarterfinals of the World Cup. So that'll definitely be something huge right there, something huge. So yeah, let me know your thoughts on the match. The Super Falcons will be taking on the Lionesses of England 7th of August, Monday 7th of August, round of 16 matchup. Let me know your thoughts and predictions in the comment section, and please don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank y'all for watching. Peace.